welcome to another episode of Teams on Air. I'm your host, Delanda Coleman, and today we're going to be talking about how to become a power user using / commands, message extensions, as well as the App Store. But before we get started, I want to share a couple of announcements with you. You can watch Teams on Air in 3 ways. The first is live using Skype meeting broadcast. Every 2 weeks, we go live and we stream via the technology called Skype meeting broadcast. If you're watching us via that method, you can always give us some feedback as well as give some comments on what episodes that you'd like to see using the Microsoft Pulse on the side of the screen. You can also submit questions live and someone's in the background answering questions, so feel free to do that right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe, as well as if you like the episode, give us a thumbs up. And you can also submit a comment down below. We do read the comments, and so if you have a comment about the show and or if you want to see a particular episode in the future, make sure that you let us know that way. And the last and super cool way that you can also engage on the show is the Teams on Air podcast. It is available everywhere podcasts are available, so make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review the show in iTunes. All right, with that, we're going to get started, and I want to introduce my guest, Harysh Menon. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
All right, Harish, you've been at Microsoft for a while now. How long has it been?
I've been in Microsoft about 2.5 years now.
2.5 years, and in that 2.5 years, what have you been doing?
I was with the Visual Studio Team Services team, primarily in the Visual Studio Marketplace division. And since then, I've moved on to Teams, and now I'm part of the messaging extensions and Power Bar extensions team.
Awesome. So you're going to show us exactly how we can use it and become power users of the application. So tell me how, since you moved over to the Teams team and you've been using the tool, how's it transformed the way that you collaborate with your colleagues?
Microsoft is a fast-paced work environment, and Teams is a great way to sort of integrate all your communications in one place. It also integrates with your SharePoints, your files, all the apps now. I'll be showing you pretty soon. So it's a single place for me to get my work done. Pretty simple.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, with that, let's just jump right into the demo and show us what it can do.
Great. Okay. So search is one of the key ways to get work done in Teams. So we've now integrated search with commands as well as apps and moved it to a central location front and center on the top of the app. We now call this the command box, and we've introduced special / commands as well as the ability to access apps as well. So let's take a sample scenario. Suppose I'm just new to this team. I've come in and my manager seems to have pinged me, Miriam. So if I go in there, it looks like there's a conference coming up in New York and I should be attending it. So it's my first task that my manager has given me. So obviously big, very important stuff.
Yeah.
So let me just set my status to do not disturb so that we can get going. Sure, I can go and set it through the profile, etc. But now with / commands, you can actually set everything right from the command box. So I just say / and I can say DND to set my status to do not disturb. Hit enter and it'll update my status.
That's pretty cool. So what happens when you're on do not disturb?
So in do not disturb, basically everyone I'm interacting with knows that I'm actually in a focused time zone right now, and because of which they will think twice before messaging me or calling me, as well as you can't actually call me when I'm in do not disturb mode, so that I have time to focus and work.
Okay, great. So they can call you, but it'll just go to voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
So as you can see on the top right, my status has changed to do not disturb. Okay, so I remember something about a New York conference being mentioned in the pipelines channel. Sure, I can go to Teams and navigate to it, but hey, you're a power user, you need to be able to do it quickly. So just get into the command box, say /go-to, and just type in the channel name. So in this case, it's pipeline. As you can see, it just shows up right there. Click on it, and you are in the pipeline channel. And here it looks like Pradeep has mentioned something about the New York event. And from the replies, it looked like Alex will be going. Okay, so I'm new in this team, so I don't know who exactly Alex is. So we now introduce a quick way to just find out just that.
Wow.
So as part of the command box, we've also introduced the Who app, which basically lets you know who's in your organization, who reports to whom, etc. And you can access that from the command box. So you just say /who and type in the name, Alex Wilbur. So, and it'll take you directly into the Who app and give me information about Alex. So it looks like Alex is a marketing assistant, and I wonder who his manager is. Oops, that didn't work. And looks like he is in my team. That's really great.
Oh, great. So from the command box, you can quickly find teams, and that's really helpful because as you become part of more and more teams, the list of teams on that left
Absolutely.
navigation could get pretty long. And rather than sorting through them, you can just type in the name. That's
Go
pretty
to
cool.
team.
And I love this new feature that, who, right? So like, if you're in a large organization like we are here at Microsoft, you don't always know who someone is. And so here's a great way that you can see, who they are and all the details with this particular person.
Yeah, so Who is one of our first-party apps, and it's actually a lot more powerful than just finding out who a particular person is. For instance, if you look at the list of commands of what it can do, you can see there's a bunch of questions it can answer. It can answer who a particular person is, who they report to, even some of the ones like who knows about. So that's like an expert thing, like who knows about the New York event, who knows about sales, who knows about marketing. So if you're really new in the team, that's a really nice way to find out who to talk to about a particular topic.
Yeah, awesome. So now you have no excuse of this is, you can find out in Teams who's who and exactly what they're working on.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So looks like Alex is going to be in New York with me for this particular event. I can chat with him, but let me just try a call instead. It's better to do this over the voice. So again, I could go press the call, blah, 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 but you're a power user. Let's do this from the command box.
Yeah.
So you just do /call and type in Alex's name. That shows up right there. And boom, you're into a call directly with Alex.
Awesome. So you don't even have to like hunt around for his contact information or you just know his name. Let's call him.
Yeah, absolutely.
/call. Cool.
Okay, so say my call with Alex is done. We're going to be in New York together. Let's see what the weather is like in New York because I'm going to be traveling there. It's going to be chilly, etc. So like I said before, we've now integrated apps into the command box as well. So when you just hit @ in the command box, it gives you a list of apps that you've installed. There's also a link to go to the store, which I'll come to in a little bit, where you can install more. So in this case, I have a weather app right here within the command box. So I just say @weather and search for New York. And there you go. I can see that it's 39 degrees in New York.
All
a
right.
little chilly, but not so bad.
So you're going to have to pack a couple of jackets and some gloves. That's freezing to me.
Yep.
And so what if you found something interesting on another app and you wanted to share that experience with a user?
All the apps are accessible via the @ command. And when you go to the store, you can actually see a list of all the messaging extensions that we have access to. There's a bunch like Places, YouTube, Images, and so on. There's a few first-party ones like VSDS as well, and many third-party ones like Trello, Rike, Wikipedia, etc.
Awesome.
And just as a quick note, all of these can actually be used directly from chat as well. So for instance, in this case, if I just go back to the chat with Alex, I can say, hey, you know what? We're going to New York. Let's meet up for breakfast before the conference. So I can just say @places and search for a particular place. For instance, let's look for a cafe. And you can see a bunch of options show up. Let's just pick this one. And you get that's entered into the conversation. And you can say, how about meeting for lunch here? And you can get directions directly from the card. You can also find out when the restaurant's open. In some cases, we also get rating information from sources like Yelp. So it's a quick way to make more engaging conversations.
That's pretty cool. So now it starts off with, we're talking about New York, we have a business meeting there, and you sharing the details. Now you could even extend that into, okay, here's where we're going to meet, and we can actually add the directions directly in there. And so I can imagine Alex being on the other end with his mobile phone. He sees the place and he can click directions, and it's pretty simple.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I talked about the folks watching us on YouTube to make sure that they subscribe. Now, what if you, as an end user, stumbled on something in YouTube and you wanted to share that with Alex? How could you do that?
Absolutely. I want to tell Alex about this great show that I've heard about. Hey, this is TeamsOnAir show. And I can just say @YouTube to bring up YouTube and search for TeamsOnAir. And there you go.
Nice. So, and then you could send him a link that opens up directly to the TeamsOnAir show.
Yep. So when he clicks on this particular card, it takes him into a browser and where he can basically view the video.
Awesome, cool. I want everybody watching right now to download the YouTube app in your Teams client and make sure that you share the the Teams on Air show. Pretty cool. All right, so let's walk through. So what else can we do as a user to become a power user in Teams?
There's a whole list of slash commands. I've only shown you a small subset of them. So if you just go into the command box and type the key slash, you get a whole list of them. And there's a bunch, like for instance, you can find out more about Teams itself using the slash help. You can look at slash org to figure out who somebody reports to. You can see what my unread messages are. You can do slash mentions, which I use all the time because you get mentioned for different things across the teams. So you do slash mentions, it takes you to your activity feed with all your mentions in one place. So there's a bunch of commands that we've added, and we're working to add many more to this space. We're also working with many third-party developers to sort of add more apps into the App Store, and we're seeing submissions come in all the time. So it's ever growing.
Great. Thanks, Harish. That was really great, and I'm sure many of us are going to start becoming power users thanks to the slash commands and the app mentions. You mentioned the store before, so let's talk about the Microsoft Teams store and what can we do there.
Sure. So we've introduced the store quite recently, and we've added an entry point right within the app itself. So on the bottom left, you can see the store icon. So when you click into it, there's a whole list of extensions that we have right now. There's over 150 extensions by third-party and by first-party developers. And we have various ways to integrate with Teams. So that basically what we're trying to do is make this the hub for all your communication as well as all your work, so to really make you productive. So there's different ways you can integrate. For instance, in your team, you can add a bot, you can add a tab, you can add messaging extensions. And all of these sort of work together to sort of give you to make Teams a central place to get all your work done.
Yeah, and it's a great way to bring in business processes and other applications that your team leverages to get work done without necessarily having to build code or custom integration.
Absolutely.
I love browsing the store and all the extensions that are available in there. Now, I remember in the beginning you said that you used to work on Visual Studio. Is there a Visual Studio app?
Absolutely. There's a Visual Studio Team Services app, so you can just go in here and search for VSTS. You can see it comes right up. It has a bunch of integrations. You can pin a tab right into your channel where you can actually have your Kanban board and view your work. Or you can have a connector which basically posts updates about your work items. Or in this case, you can simply have a message extension as well. So for instance, I can go back to my chat with Miriam and say, hey, you know what? I've actually started work on the New York stuff. So I just go into the VSTS extension and it loads the work items that are assigned to me. And I can click and say, hey, I've started on this.
So you can let her know that you started on a particular
work item, yeah.
Awesome, and that's really cool, and that's a really great way, again, like I mentioned earlier, to bring in your business processes right into the chat so that the communications are just richer.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Harish, for joining us today. You've done a great job of showing us how to become a power user of Microsoft Teams.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I hope people use slash commands and add commands all the time.
Yep, and don't forget to share the Teams on Air episode with your colleagues. Well, that wraps up another episode of Teams on Air. And in 2 weeks, we'll actually be at Enterprise Connect. We'll be showcasing our vision for intelligent communication. So make sure that you take some time to join us there. We'll have a show from Enterprise Connect, and we'll be streaming live on YouTube. So make sure that you check us out at that time. All right, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you at Enterprise Connect.